Hi, this is Joel Viveno with my next update for my project for game design 2. So this is going off of last week, which was the alpha up which was the update for my alpha for the alpha build for my game. For this one is going to be a continuation of that build. Technically, still an alpha with new features added based off of the feedback from playtesting last week and a bit from this week as well. So here we go. This is my preliminary main menu for the time being. Right now it's just a blank screen, an empty screen with the button that starts the game to play. Here we go. Okay. So compared to my original from last week, I had some issues with the spacing of the areas within the character. So I've started widening up the spaces so the player can travel in or the player can explore. This is the beginning area now. Originally, the walls were a lot closer to the player. Now that I've spaced them farther apart. Okay, there. Pause menu still works here. Okay, and let me just test the dying. Okay, dying still works here. Try again. Back here. All right. So I'm the mechanic with the orbs was received well by my playtesters, so I kept those and kind of added more to it so that there's more for the player to collect. So here we go. The obstacles are still there, fire's still there. I've also added some areas in some new paths to the game, including this path early on that will lead to a new orb here. Something else is that up top for the orb count, I've increased it to 10. There are now 10 orbs available for the player to collect before they finish the game. So let me just go ahead. So this is one of the areas that I will also be resizing to make more space for the player, so that the camera doesn't clip through the walls when the player turns it. Okay. Here. This area can be spaced more, especially here, where one orb is hiding. Okay. The player can jump through over these obstacles, but the fire obstacles, but it may take some spacing and timing to do so without taking damage. Because if the player does lose all their health, they also get a game over. And it may not be seen well from some angles, but there is actually the collectible is still here. So just collect it. Okay. So there's a reason why I increased the orb count to 10. And also from last week there is no more counter present on top of the screen. Also a reason for that. So let me go ahead and collect this first before I go to this new area. Okay. While we're slowing. Now, something that was told to me last week was that my slowing mechanic, my timer mechanic didn't make any sense, because even though I'm slowed in the water, or what's my motivation to react to it besides the time? So I've added a timer. So I've taken away the timer and focus more on the slowing aspect of the water, and this new feature where the water is rising to meet the player. So something else happens that as the water reaches certain levels, the fire oscillators also come out. However, but you may have noticed earlier that when the player jumped into the water, the player would die because he would get submerged, essentially drowning. Same thing's happening as the water rises. When it catches up to the player and the player is fully submerged, the player would die. So now let me do this again all the way through without dying. Because there is a trick to this at the moment that I may or may not have designed intentionally, but it works. Here we go. Okay. So you notice that I bypassed one of the earlier orbs in the favor of getting this one first. The reason being, you may have noticed that earlier when once I collect the six orbs of the 10, the message saying that the water was rising would pop up and the water would start trying to reach the player. So my current trick right now is to get that orb near the water 5th, and then get this other orb 6th, in order to bypass the slowing mechanic underwater over there. So now I can go to this new area, which is sort of a new jumping skill check, where the player would have to jump across these differently elevated platforms to get the last 4 remaining orbs, all while keeping time and making sure they're ahead of the water rising over there in the distance, as you can see here. So I have to keep going. Last orb here, and then the final exit is over here on the last platform, and there you have it. So the areas will be spaced out a bit more, and I will start trying to replace these white box cubes with actual assets. I'm hoping to use maybe some modular pieces that I can manipulate in order to replace these assets I have at the moment. But thank you very much.